Welcome everyone, today we have a new guide for Tower Fantasy. As you can see behind me, I'm getting multiple golden SSR gear drops, and on this particular round I got a purple chip and also a golden chip. So let me just show you guys the loot I got over here. I skip a little too much, so I was going to show you guys. So this is the loot I got on this run. So 2 SSR gears and also 1 golden SSR chips. Now usually the runs are not this crazy, but you do get a lot more SSR gears using our new method. So what I have prepared over here is, I have prepared a detailed notes to get better SSR drop rate, and this is using the new pity rate we found with the datas. And basically I'll teach you guys a new trick and we'll go through this. This is actually wonderfully well, and I've been testing this multiple times, and most of the time I'll get an SSR gear after 3 to 4 boxes. So let's get into the video and let me share the method with you guys. Now if you guys have seen our previous video on the joint op drop rate, so over here we do have the Tower of Index, the drop rates for the SSR gears and also SSR matrix. So we talk about the previous rates over here, and I recommended us to open the final chest, so not the first one or the second one. But I realized this takes way too much time. So one of the downside of the old method is this takes way too long to grind, and it takes about 10 to 15 minutes per run, and no one's got all this time to do this properly, right? And at the same time, some of my guildmates were telling me that we actually have a hidden pity system. So some of the viewers were saying this as well. So what they are finding is they were actually getting golden SSR chips on the 0% chance of the chest 1. And I looked into this. So those are the special pity rate that is presented over here. So in order to show you guys a little more, we do have the data shared from the community, and what they're sharing over here is this particular function. So let me see if I can go bigger for you guys. So this is the special 4 data, and I'll quickly explain this to you guys and tell you guys how we can make use of this. So the special 4 is a mechanics that community are currently assuming. So after a certain number of opening boxes, if you do not get a SSR item, or if you do not get an item of the category, you will get higher rate. And there's 2 numbers next to the special 4. So basically what they're saying is, let's say if we better use this one. So the special 4 mechanic is that after opening 1 box, so here you can see I was opening boxes, right? So here is opening boxes. This is saying is after opening one of the 30 vitality box, if you do not get SSR armor, your rate is no longer 4.7 or 2.2%. Your rate will be changed into 8.26%, because the pity rate for the soft pity rate for one of them is 1. So if you open one, you don't get it, your soft pity will go to 1, and this means your rate will be boosted. And we'll make use of this, I'll show you guys after. And if you do not get SSR armor after 5 boxes, your next box will guarantee that you get SSR armor. So there is a soft pity, there is a big pity. The small pity is 1. So you get special 4 rate after opening 1 box and do not get any of those items. So let's say if, let me show you guys on one of the other recordings. So coming over to one of my other recordings here, I'm testing the method on Seraphim, and this also works. So I'll just quickly show you guys what I mean by the special pity rate. So notice here I'll be opening this blue box with 30 vitality, and here I got nothing. I got crap, actually I got all the blue ones. But notice I'm backtracking into getting the previous boxes, because by opening the 3rd box I was trying to get at this rate. So the 3rd box is at 4.73% and also 0.49%, and missing both of my SSR items on this box, that means my future boxes will be on 8.26% because I'm on the soft pity for one of them. So the logic is, if you open the boxes and if you don't get SSR armor, you can now go back to open the previous chest. And this actually works wonderfully. So let me show you guys me running back over here. So we can backtrack over here. We do have 300 seconds, and I'm running back to open the 2nd box after getting my pity on the 3rd box. There's a reason we do this, guys, not 1 2 3 but 3 2 1. And notice here I got a purple chest and also a golden chest, simply because we're kind of abusing the method. And what we're trying to do is, notice the 1st box we got a pity on this, so the rate for the 2nd box is not 5.22 now, the rate is 11.0, the rate is actually 19.27, and the rate for the golden armor was 8.26, not 2.23. I know it's a little confusing. So what I'm trying to say is we have a new method of getting more drop rate, because This is the third method. We're taking the PT counters, we're making sure to get additional rate by opening the third box, then going back to the second box and also the first box. Now I know there's a lot of rates and numbers, so instead of talking about the numbers to you guys, I'll just give you guys a method. I actually wrote it down. So just as a summary, our previous video we talked about the old method, which will only open the third box, and the third box is here, but it takes too long, right? And also the third box rates are over here. You can see the third box rate is supposed to be the better ones, but we are not aware, or I was not aware, that if you open the normal boxes in 1, 2, 3 order, you'll have the PT, which is over here, and those are the special numbers we're taking consideration of. So if you open the boxes normally, what's going to happen is you're going to experience super low rate on the first box, and the rates improve on the second and also the third. But if you open the third box, you get the bonus rate on the third box, and the second and also third rate boxes become the special 4 box if you do not get SSR gears. And this is our method. So one of the things you should be aware first is which of the dungeons you're fighting for, because I do believe, so if we come over to joint ops, so notice there is going to be 5 dungeons, and for each of the dungeons, each of the difficulty will have a different PT. So we're currently on difficulty 7. So difficulty 7 is at level 60. If you're doing difficulty 5, oh, this is difficulty 6, right? So if you're doing level 50 difficulty, this is a different PT. So be aware of this. I'll be making a new PT guide for level 70, and currently we're level 60 for another 1 to 2 weeks, so we stick on this method for now. So first, you want to know which dungeon you're fighting for. So today I'm fighting Seraphim, and I'm fighting the space-time training ground. And because I'm fighting this, I know I haven't got any SSR armors on this particular dungeon, so my PT counter starts with 0. And what I'm going to do is, I will go clear the dungeon and open the third box first. So you can see over here, this is what I did over here as well. I clear the dungeon, and I open the third box first. If I don't get anything, I go back to the second box. If I don't get anything on the second box, I go back to the first box. So here I'm running back to the second box, and guess what? With the boost of rates on the second box, I was able to get my golden SSR. And this actually works wonderfully. Now if this does not happen, I can run back to the first box. But the moment I get an SSR gear on the second box, I stop opening those, I start a new dungeon. And you guys can see the logic over here. So we always start by opening on the third box, because this have the highest rate. If you get SSR armor, you can stop over here. But if you do not, you can go for the second and also the first box. You should always stop after getting SSR armor. Don't open further boxes, because the rates of the boxes will be resetted. So what I mean by that is, so you don't get anything on the first box, the second box will have this rate, and the first box will have this rate. But if you all of a sudden get something on the second box, the third box will go back to a lower rate. So this is why you stop the moment you get 1 SSR. And backtracking this way allows you to spend more vitality. So this way we can start the order with 3, 2, 1, and stopping when SSR armor appears. Now you could try the similar method for PT for the SSR chips, but it is more difficult. And you can see the previous replay, me getting the chips was lucky because, on the side of, I was focused on the armor, right? But to get the chips, we do this method, but we have to get 8 times. Then we open all the boxes. So we'll make a new video on this one. So don't worry about the chips too much now. We're getting the PT for the armor first. And this method is focused on armor. And after you have gotten SSR armor, you can join another co-op and repeat the method above. Now there will be times that you open 1 to 3 boxes, 3 to 1 boxes, and you don't get any armor, but this is okay. So in a worst case scenario with a PT system, you will get 1 SSR armor after 5 boxes. I do think after 5 empty boxes with no SSR armor, you will get 1 SSR armor guaranteed. But using this method, the reverse logic, I was able to get 1 SSR gear after 3 to 4 boxes. And this helps me to spend vitality faster and also get more loots. Because what you're doing is, so you're getting always the highest rate on chest 3. And then you're changing chest 2 and also chest 1 rates into the special 4 rate. So you're basically getting 4.73% and 8.26% constantly. You're always getting those rates. And this takes away those rates, and you are getting higher chance of getting those boxes and getting those loots. Now before we finish the video, I do want to briefly touch up on the world boss drop rate. Notice that they also have a special 4, but currently on the Tower of Fantasy Index, they do not say about the special 4 PT for those drop rate. So unlike the chips, you can see the PT 1 to 5, this one doesn't show the PT. So what I recommend is, I don't know how many times you have to fight the same world boss, but if you have been fighting the same world boss, it's rollback with me, and also I've been fighting Soulback. So if I've been fighting those two bosses a lot of times and I've been not getting anything, it is likely I'm close on getting a special 4 rate. So what I recommend on the world boss is try to focus on the same boss always. And eventually, we're not sure how many special 4 you will take, how many PT you will take. Eventually, you will get from the drop rate from 1.3% to 2.0%. And for the case for Soulback, it's 1.4% to 2.7%. Don't know how many times though, how many times I have to fail. And finally, if you go for the first try dragon, it is much better rate. So if you start to save your golden chips for the dragon, it starts at 1.5% drop rate. And as you get multiple fails of not getting what you wanted for SSR, it will eventually go to the special 4 rate. So the special 4 rate is a soft PT rate that gives you higher drop rate after failing multiple times. But unfortunately, we're not sure how many of the world boss you have to miss to get the special 4 rate. Unlike the joint orb, we can count the joint orb and abuse, make use of this rate to get higher drop rate and also better loots. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel and for more content related to Tower of Fantasy. I'll be looking into more free-to-play content, and I've tried to look into minimal spending or no spending method to clear the game and also achieve the highest amount of free currencies and also free-to-play, characters and also weapons in the game.